Welcome, everyone. Let's jump straight into the heart of the Revierderby, the epic clash between Borussia Dortmund and FC Schalke 04. This isn't just a game, it's a battle for Ruhr pride.
Absolutely, it's a rivalry steeped in history. You know, it all kicked off in the early 20th century, right?
Right, though the real fireworks began in the 1920s when both teams were like rising stars in German football. Being only about 20 miles apart in the industrial Ruhr area, it was almost inevitable that sparks would fly.
And Schalke got off to a strong start, dominating the scene in the 30s and 40s with a wealth of titles. How do you see that shaping the rivalry?
Oh, for sure it gave Schalke some serious bragging rights early on. Winning the first derby way back in 1925 really set the stage. But then you look at Dortmund. They didn't just sit back. In the 50s and 60s, they began to turn the tide, culminating in that championship win in 1956.
Right.
It's like an endless tug of war.
That back and forth swing, it's like a pendulum. Dortmund's first win came in 1943 with a tight 1-0 victory, right?
Exactly. And once Dortmund really hit their stride after the war, the rivalry started to heat up. But remember, Schalke's history of early success is something their fans still cling to even today.
Yep.
That history is a huge fuel.
Speaking of history, the stats really show how balanced this rivalry is. Dortmund has 34 wins, Schalke 32, with 31 draws. Doesn't that narrow gap showcase the sheer intensity of each match?
Absolutely. It's almost like walking a razor's edge every time these teams meet. Every goal, every save counts. You know, when you see those numbers, it's clear that neither side has ever run away with it. It's pure, nail-biting competitive spirit.
And then there's the Bundesliga era, starting in '63. Dortmund started strong with 8 wins in the first 10 derbies. But then Schalke fought back hard with that 12-match unbeaten streak in the late 60s and 70s. It really makes every match unpredictable, doesn't it?
Totally. It's like, you never really know who's going to take it home.
Right.
That balance injects a whole lot of drama into every encounter.
Now, let's talk about one of those unforgettable matches. The 2017-18 clash that many are calling the Revierderby of the century. Schalke trailed 4-0. And then clawed back to draw 4-4. That's insane.
Oh man, that game was something else. Dortmund seemed untouchable at halftime, yet Schalke's second-half surge and that last-minute equalizer were simply heart-stopping. That's the kind of spectacle that lives in derby lore forever.
Right on. And then there's more recent history, like the March 2023 derby, a 2-2 draw where Dortmund blew a lead, but Schalke showed impressive grit despite their struggles. It just goes to show that even with Schalke experiencing some ups and downs in league status, the fire and rivalry remain undiminished.
Exactly. Even though Schalke's been bouncing between divisions, the emotional weight of the derby isn't lost. Fans on both sides bring such passion every single match day. It's like the very soul of the Ruhr region is on display.
Speaking of fans, let's dive into the atmosphere. Dortmund's Yellow Wall and Schalke's Nordkurve. These aren't just stands in a stadium. They're like beating hearts of a community.
Oh, absolutely. The fans are the heartbeat, the life force of the derby. Their chants, their banners, the sheer intensity. It's a cultural phenomenon as much as it is a football match.
Yeah.
It really is a celebration of local pride.
And that local pride is intricately tied to the Ruhr's industrial heritage. The coal mines, the steel works. It's almost as if the struggle on the pitch mirrors the historic struggles of the working class in that region.
Exactly. It's like, every tackle and every goal reflects the grit and determination of an industrial community that knows what hard work means. The heritage sets this rivalry apart. It's local pride on an entirely different level.
Now, I do want to challenge one point here. Some might argue that, given Dortmund's recent dominance, like those blowouts with 12-0 margins in recent times, the balance of the rivalry is off. What do you think about that?
That's a fair point. I mean, in terms of recent results, Dortmund's been overwhelmingly strong. But you know, If you truly look at the history and the communal passion, the rivalry's depth isn't
Right.
defined by recent scores alone. Schalke's heart and fight keep that spirit very much alive.
Yeah, history doesn't lie. Even with some recent blowouts, every time these two meet, the stakes are high emotionally.
Exactly. And look, remember how Schalke's early dominance in the 1920s set a standard, and then Dortmund's renaissance in the post-war years reshaped the rivalry? It's this continuous interplay between eras that makes every match unique. It's like an evolving story written on the pitch.
So true. And even now, with Dortmund chasing titles and Schalke in a rebuilding phase, there's always that question. Can Schalke reignite that classic back and forth?
Exactly. It's a bit like watching a suspense thriller. You never know who isn't going to pull a fast one on you. Schalke's resilience, even when they're not at their peak, hints that they're not done yet.
Yeah.
There's always hope for a resurgence.
And that unpredictability is what keeps everyone so hooked on the derby. Every match is a coin toss. And even if Dortmund is favoured on paper, Schalke's heart keeps the spirit of the derby intact.
Spot on. It's not just about the scoreline. It's about the cultural showdown, the pride that resonates through every pass and tackle.
Absolutely.
The Revierderby is a roller coaster ride that blends history, emotion, and fierce competitiveness.
Let's also remember that the industrial backdrop of the Ruhr region gives this rivalry another layer. The fact that these clubs emerged from an area defined by coal and steel adds a kind of raw authenticity to their encounters.
Yeah, it's like the story of two working-class giants battling it out, not just for titles, but for the soul
Right.
of the region. That analogy fits the gritty, determined nature of the rivalry perfectly.
And then when you factor in moments like the 4-4 thriller in 2017-18, it's like every match has its own legend. Schalke's comeback, even from a 4-0 deficit, it's almost unbelievable.
Totally insane, right? It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes in
Yep.
real time. Moments like that are what fans will talk about for generations.
And what about the March 2023 game? Dortmund blowing a lead, yet managing a 2-2 draw, shows how even the top dogs aren't immune to the unpredictability of the derby.
That game was another reminder that while Dortmund might be chasing glory with recent results, you can never count Schalke out. Their ability to come back from behind shows that the rivalry is alive and kicking, no matter the league standing.
Exactly. With all this history, passion, and intense competition, it makes you wonder about the future of the Revierderby. Where do you see it headed, especially with Dortmund's current strength and Schalke's rebuilding efforts?
That's a solid question. I think, as long as the fans are firing up the stadium and both clubs remain deeply connected to their Ruhr roots, this saga will keep evolving. Dortmund might be the current powerhouse, but Schalke's history and heart mean they could stage a massive comeback.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, for sure. The essence of this rivalry is more than just trophies. It's about community, identity, and pride. Even a temporary lull, like Schalke's relegation in 2021, only adds fuel for when they clash again in the top flight.
Exactly. Every setback and every triumph adds another layer to this rich narrative. The passion in the stands, the chants echoing through stadiums like Dortmund's Yellow Wall and Schalke's Nordkurve, is proof that this rivalry is a living,
absolutely.
breathing entity.
So, while Dortmund might have the edge in recent seasons, the unpredictable magic of the derby ensures that Schalke's spirit and that deep-rooted collective pride will always make it a battle worth watching.
Precisely. It's incredible when you think about how history, community, and sport combine to create something that transcends football itself. Every match is, a chapter in an ongoing saga that brings together generations of fans.
Yeah, very true. In the end, it's this blend of rich history, raw industrial heritage, and the sheer will of two fierce clubs that keeps the Revierderby as one of the most riveting spectacles in football.
Well said. The Revierderby isn't just a game. It's a testament to the enduring spirit of the Ruhr region. Each match, from the early days to the modern clashes, seamlessly weaves the past with the present and hints at an electrifying future.
Exactly. And that, indeed, is why we'll always be captivated by this rivalry. Here's to many more epic chapters in this never-ending saga.